What's up, everybody, and welcome to just a special, great, amazing edition of the Put It in the Book show. This is season 3, episode number 22. That's a brilliant, brilliant shirt. I am Steve. Got Rodriguez right there to my left. Got Keith returning from vacation, fully refreshed, ready to fuakata. Right down there, and then producer Joe right down here in the corner. All is well on my neck of the woods, gentlemen. How's everything going with you guys, Rodriguez?
Well, considering I'm 10 minutes down from you, I'm kind of doing okay too.
Joe, how's it hanging?
It's good. It's good. I'm working from home again. I'm real happy about that. So it's good.
Keith. Now
Doing good.
Joe mentioned that you were, though you were in the Keys last week, you were still at that moment very jealous of us that we were conducting a New York Metropolitan show.
Did. Of course, I tuned into the show just as everybody should.
Why didn't you call in? Why didn't you call in? We asked you a couple times to call in.
I was on vacation, bro.
And he might not have been at a...
I wasn't calling in.
Wasn't that sober? Not that sober?
I was definitely not that sober.
Why would you be?
You shouldn't have been.
And
good answer. Good
very
answer.
upset with you if you were.
But I did watch the show post, just like everybody else should. If you missed the show, it's always up there on Facebook. You should check it out. Don't miss.
Check it out.
It is not real-time information. It is fun, full-week information. But I did good. Glad to be back. Mental break was amazing.
Do that again. There you go.
It was smooth.
Smooth.
Feel refreshed. Getting away was definitely needed. Being COVID-19 in my house forever was getting to me after a while. So did a whole bunch of driving, a whole bunch of social distancing, and a whole lot of drinking in the Keys.
Nice.
2 thumbs up on that.
Good to hear.
Yes. Everybody who has joined so far, welcome. Barbara, Mom, good evening, kids. Yes. The four children that run this show.
So just quick note, we made it down to Key West. That was our first destination. And we were there for about 20, 30 minutes, jumped back in the car, said to the $15 parking on the Duval that we paid for, and headed back up because maybe half the people were wearing masks, and I wasn't down with it. So peace. Went a little further north in the Keys. Everybody was well behaving. People wear your damn masks. It's really not that big a deal.
Smart move.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's what happened to us last month up in went up to St. Petersburg to see my sisters, and we ventured out one day out into town to see if we could go out into town, and hundreds of people, not a mask.
Yeah, not worth it. Not worth it, man.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to get sick, and even more than myself, I'm not looking to make my family sick. We got babies, my father, just so all those people out there who don't want to wear masks, I ain't going to be around you. That's that.
Just pop a mint in, put the mask on right over it.
Funny thing is, even people with masks, I keep social distance. If you don't have a mask, I keep miles distance from you.
All right, let's see if you still got it in you. I'm gonna share it out.
Come on, you know what happens now.
You know what happens here.
Oh, I'm a little rusty. Hold on. This segment of sharing is brought to you by Caring. Caring is brought to you by Brooklyn Water Coffee Roasters. BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com. From their roastery to your front door, only the finest beans are hand selected. Each bean is picked out one by one by one for your bag. I'm not talking about your ball bag. I'm talking about your coffee bag. They're roasted.
Okay.
They'll give you auto drip. They'll give you whole bean. They're roasted to your liking.
Confused.
The coffee is just in case you were confused. Coffee is delicious. There's a ton of amazing flavors. They have the 50% more caffeine line, which is of course my favorite. I love Cinnabuzz. Cinnabuzz is a cinnamon infused coffee. They also have Jacked Up Cupcake, which is like what we like to call our friend Rodriguez over here.
The day.
Then there's another line of flavors. One amazing, really good is Morning Wood infused with horny goatweed. And I think there's like another hint in there as well. It's really good. Then there's another one, dark roast, dark chocolate.
Favorite.
Yeah, it's really good. And wait, how many calories is in that again? I forget.
Setto.
There you go. Then there's also, your regular, and it's hands down the most popular medium roast coffee. Don't need to buy the flavors. There is a lot of options on there. If you go on to www.brooklynwatercoffeeroasters.com, check it out. You will not be disappointed. And if you act now, or the last 58 weeks we've been doing this, you can get your third bag free. So if you buy two, don't chintz out. Buy two, you get your third bag free using the code. What's our code now, Farachi? Did we change it?
Nope.
What was it before? Wear your fucking mask.
Hurt.
Did I curse? What was the
Stay home.
Producer, you're supposed to beat
stay
that.
home?
Stay home. Yeah, I gotta get my finger on the beep. Hold on.
We should change it, stay home to wear a mask. But yeah, Rodriguez is right. Use code stay home, all capital letters, excluding all lowercase letters. You will get your third bag free when you buy two.
Yes, you are correct about all that.
www.brooklynwatercoffeeroasters.com, from the roaster to your front door, guaranteed to ship within 24 hours of its roast mother effing date.
Boom. Come back with the energy and the fire from the keys.
Yeah.
It could also be that we are 9 days away from this.
from the keys.
What's up, Tony? Yep, Jake is back. Steve had mentioned at the top of the show. I think Jake has been doing this the last couple of years. He gets a little rusty, gets a little sore, working out the kinks, and he takes a break. And he deserves to, because he is the man of the staff. He does not need to do all of the training.
He's the reigning Cy Young.
He knows when he's ready.
And do you know these just stupid people, stupid writers out there for? I think this was Newsday. If the Mets don't manage the DeGrom injury correct, you can forget this season. Really? Like stop. Just
already?
Well, hold
Timmy,
on.
what's
Let
up?
me guess. That was
Season's
Daily
over
News
already?
Post.
No, it was the Newsday.
They're getting just as bad.
Wait, out of those three, I got 4 fingers up. Out of those three, Post, Newsday, which do you guys like the best? In that order, 1, 2, 3. We all know Post is probably going to be third on all our lists.
Yeah, Post is definitely number 3. That's a Yankee rag. And speaking of Yankee rags, what's up, Timmy?
Timmy.
TNT.
Yeah, no, I always like the Daily News. Daily News.
Same. Daily News, Newsday, Post.
Post.
All right, so that was just a headline that I came across. But again, nothing to be concerned about. It doesn't seem that way. Crisis averted. Non-story. The other bit of tiny information, the fact that Robinson Cano finally made an appearance on the field yesterday, but no explanation, none of that. So I mean, kind of have to think maybe it was Corona related.
Tiny.
And I mean, they don't have to. They're not allowed to disclose that without the player permission.
Hold me closer, Tiny Dancer.
Tiny Dancer. And then the other bit of news was that some $40 bazillion dollar man was going to enter in the Mets ownership deal, and that was Sheldon Adelson, which they're now saying that he's never said that he was interested, is not interested in it. All good. So it is the Steve Cohen, Alex Rodriguez, and friends group.
What kind of person named their kid Sheldon?
Sheldon. Hey, wasn't that
a dinner? Sheldon!
That's a show, no? Little Sheldon?
Make fun of the guy with $40 gazillion.
Yeah, he should have changed his name now.
Son of a bitch.
He should have changed his name. He got enough
Mike
money.
Show. What's up, Mike?
It don't
He
matter
can
now.
afford it.
Thanks for tuning in, Mike.
Yeah, that is the Mike Show. It's slightly different from what we usually see there. It was the Mike and Steve show. Now it is the Mike Show. So for you guys that asked me about it last week,
half the people, twice the power.
What it is. Oh yeah. All right. So that's really all that we want to talk about from the news perspective, because we are going to devote this extremely positively amazing episode to player projections this year. Next week we'll go into our division projections.
I gotta put some with Farachi talks.
And then, sorry, when I talk,
because I gotta look at you.
That's messed up.
Cover this.
That's
that
right.
is messed up.
I love
Anyway,
you, Farachi.
Love you too, buddy.
Guys instigating.
All I did was pull the shade. I took the shade and I pulled it a little bit, so it gives me a little bit of shade from the sun.
Wait, so if I go like this, does it get better or worse like this? Better or worse?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like where I am, it's noon. It's like high noon.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You
But
know
more
that thing in the
importantly,
car?
wait a minute. Why is Rodriguez broadcasting from the back of his 1968 Caddy? What's that all about?
Because I can. Why you have a mosquito net? Pull that down. Let's
We
kill
will-
it.
Okay, all right. Good one.
Tony, I promise
Good
you,
one.
sit tight. By the end of the show,
Because I got
we'll end up
mosquitoes,
addressing
baby.
Puig on the Braves.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick.
Let's go full
We'll
nerd,
jump
man.
right into it. Let's go.
Baseball, full nerd. Let's go.
Real quick, Yasiel Puig gets signed by the Braves. What I mean is he just what I mean?
It's another reason to hate him.
Okay,
I'm all for it because listen, the guy's a hothead, and I think honestly, this New York Mets team needs a fight, and I hope he starts one.
let's do it.
I hope we drill him. I hope there's a brawl, and I hope we get closer, and I hope we demolish the league. Rawr.
Boom. Well said. All right, let's go into what we think.
To be honest, if he's anywhere near to being decent, he's a good fourth outfielder at the least.
Yeah, can you imagine what he once was projected to be, and now a guy who gets signed on July 15th?
A week before the season.
9 days.
His
all the
happiness
Yeah.
can be also how the clubhouse goes.
Yeah.
The Braves are pretty tight, but like if he's unhappy, he can cause a little unrest. If he's happy, he can be. It can be harmonious with him in a clubhouse. Who knows?
I don't think he can do that in a clubhouse like the Braves with
They're pretty tight.
and Markakis and those older veteran guys.
Yeah.
He
I was
won't
gonna
get
say
into that.
Markakis is sitting out, so he's like that's one less veteran presence that can be an uplifting presence in that
Well,
club.
I'm glad he's sitting out.
Yeah,
but
I just hope
for
he
sure.
causes the ball and we kick some ass.
He's not coming into a little rookie team there.
I hope
Right.
Dom Smith hurts his leg and he comes
True.
rolling out in a scooter and beats people with it.
Boom. Like physically picks the scooter up and slams it on their head.
Yeah. And Jet Smith
Okay.
takes off his body cast and beats people with it. Anyway,
He's a little guy.
moving along.
Maybe Alonso could use him. to
Oh
beat
my God,
people
yeah.
He just pick up Lowry and hit people with him. Bang.
All right. Before we forgot to bring these up.
Your clicking is very violently fast and it's scaring me.
Sorry. Just want to share this out real quick. These MLB lists that came out, top 10 lineup, starting rotation, bullpen. So just real quick, I'm not sure which one I have up here first. Let's see. All right, top 10 lineups. So top 10 lineups puts us at number 6 behind the Dodgers. Absolutely. The Twins, absolutely. Cheating Astros, that can definitely be one to talk through.
Shouldn't even be on that list.
The Yankees at number 4. Oakland at 5. Oakland was a surprise, but I mean, I still don't think they have a better lineup than us. But I looked through it; they do have some pop and some average hitters. But I do think the Mets should be at the number 5 position. And if you take the Astros out of there, the Mets should be at the number 4 position. Then you got the White.
2 National League teams on there.
Oh my God.
You are correct. Yep, and so we're right behind the Dodgers.
Yes, number 2 in
all
the
the
National
cheaters. All the cheaters. You got the Red Sox at 9. You have the Astros at 3. You have the Skankies at 4. All the cheating teams are the top 10.
So
Take 3 guys out.
And the Angels,
Right.
absolutely. The Angels might be low on this list compared to what they should be with the bop and the thunder that they got in that lineup. But sorry, Keith, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm not sure who composed this list. I know it was MLB.com, but I don't know who on the MLB.com team did it. There are some discrepancies, as you all pointed out already. I think the Angels are not 10. I think they're higher than that. I don't think the Athletics are number 5, and I think the Astros are very suspect. They're a proven cheater team, and you don't know what they are right now. You know, there's talent. Obviously, they're not a talentless team, but you don't know what they are without garbage cans and cameras in the outfield.
Right.
You don't know. So to put them number 3, you know, I get it. Maybe you're basing it off of, you know, last year, but that's hard to say. I think by default they drop a little bit, you know, and I think with the Angels lineup, I mean, third base, Trout. I mean, these guys they're stacked. Pujols,
Yep.
you know, Pujols is old, but the guy's still going to be good for mid-20s home runs. He's still going to be good for raking some 70, 80 RBIs if he plays.
In a normal season, yeah.
In a 162 season.
Yeah.
They're stacked. Number 10? Yeah. Why is Athletics above Angels? I'm not sure.
This is the top 10 rotations now.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. You're right about that too. I think maybe those two might be flip flopped. The Angels and the Athletics. All right, heading into the rotations, we are sitting at number 8. We are still in the top 10. You got the Nationals showing up as number 1. It's tough to argue that. The Rays at number 2. Also tough to argue. The Reds have beefed up there because last year they would have made some noise if not for their pitching, and they beefed up on their pitching. You got the Indians still up there at number 4. Dodgers clearly still up there in the top 5. And then funny how you know, at least on paper, the tide has changed when it comes to the Yankees. The Yankees, that was supposed to be a real struggle for them. Was a real struggle for them, and now they're position number 6 again on paper. The Rangers are one of our favorite teams to trade our players to, and actually Todd Frazier is a Texas Ranger. That they come in at number 7. The Mets at 8. Astros at 9, and the Cardinals at 10. Thoughts, guys? And Maureen says, "Show can start now. Thanks for waiting."
We always wait for you, Maureen.
Yo,
Look,
thank you.
Maureen,
Thanks
look,
for
no
showing up.
slackers on today. We're all here.
Yeah. All right, Rodriguez,
seems-
the pitcher. You go for it.
I mean, it seems fair. Top 10. I mean, again, just out of principle alone, I take the Astros out for sure, just because they cheated really bad. I can't prove the Yankees cheated pitching, but hitting, I know they did.
For sure.
For sure. No, that's solid, man. I mean, we're in the top 10. I'm not gonna get mad if we're 8, we're 6, at 7, we're 4, we're 3. I mean, we lost Noah. That
We'd
not
be top 5.
much.
Top 5 with Noah.
With Noah, we would have been top 5, maybe top 7. But to be honest, it doesn't matter to me. We're in top 10 in offense and top 10 in pitching.
Which
That's
what
a
I
pretty
mean,
good team.
what more could you ask for, right?
That's a pretty good team. Now, the only thing that's going to screw around a little bit is a lot of these teams are in the top 10, like the Reds. They don't have our schedule coming up. They're going to play in a very weak division, the Central. It's not that great. We're going to play top teams like, look, the Tampa Bay Rays, the Nationals, the Skankies. We're going to be playing those guys. Those are good teams. It's going to be a tough year, but,
And then the Dodgers
I think would be good.
in the playoffs. Whoever we play in the World, I will play the Dodgers and the Cardinals in the playoffs, maybe, and then whoever we play in the World Series.
I love it to be the Dodgers.
Yes. Joe, Keith, any thoughts on this?
I just gotta say that I agree with Steve about the Astros. I don't like seeing them on any list.
Anything?
I mean,
right?
how can you actually grade them
But
on
the pitchers didn't.
any
cheat, right?
list? I mean, semantics.
Well, if your offense is
On principle alone.
if your offense is scoring 3 or 4 more runs a game than they should,
Getting more rest.
it
Because
affects.
they're on the see, we
pitching.
talked through that, and yes,
So yes, I agree. It still has.
Glad we had that conversation.
And the only other comment I have is that it's funny to hear Rodriguez say, "Yeah, well, if we had Noah, we would be top 5, maybe." I don't know anybody more anti-Noah than Rodriguez, so he at least admits what he brings to the team for once. So
I always I always do. I think he can be the pitcher on the staff.
Oh, can be. See, but then he's going to call him stupid.
Here we go.
Okay, I'll lie. Oh, he's brilliant. I could tell by the way he pitches. By the blank stare in his eyes, I could tell he's a brilliant.
You just said we'd be a notch or 2 higher on that list if he was still on the staff.
Because we don't know what Waka Waka and Porcello are going to do. If they were back to the
Don't walk it back.
We'll see.
Hey, Rodriguez, I was wondering this season, this weekend, if we socially distance, you want to go play volleyball with bowling balls?
Here we go. All right. Now here's the one that surprised me.
Workout.
Here's the one that surprised me. The top 10 bullpens. Because
Gotcha.
Because I don't know how. I mean, if you want to talk about on
how did
paper,
we make the list? How did we make the list? Is that what you're going to say?
How in the hell we literally pulled our hair out last year with all these almost 30 blown saves. This guy with 15 home runs in the 9th inning alone. And
aside from the Yankees,
we're top 7.
Padres, even the Brewers, Rays, top 5. Outside of the top 5, every other bullpen in baseball is pretty suspect. So if you take it outside of that top 5, it starts to make sense that maybe we're up there because we did have a Lugo, we did have a Justin Wilson, we did have a Gazelman, we had some consistency in our bullpen, and a lot of teams did not. That top 5 was pretty consistent, but outside of that, Major League bullpens have been pretty suspect. There's not many good bullpens out there.
I thought the Dodgers had a better bullpen than that. Maybe they lost an arm.
Could be wrong, but I'm not sure. Yeah. I know for a fact Yankees, Padres, Brewers, Braves, Twins. Even the Braves were not that bad because they picked up what's that scumbag's face. Anyway,
he's got COVID.
Yeah, but the top 5 was definitely really good last year. Pretty consistent.
Will Smith,
Jada Pinkett.
Cheated on him.
Getting Bettenses. You know what it is? Lugo, Gesellman, and Bettenses are the only reason we're in the top 10. Because if it was just purely on Diaz and Familia,
right,
we wouldn't belong there.
I mean, if they did what they were supposed to do, we'd be top 5. But obviously, it didn't happen. Here we are. Let's hope for the best. But yeah, I think that top 5 is accurate. Everything after that is a crapshoot.
These lists are a combination of the stats, of last year's stats, and the projected stats, and the type of plays that they believe they have. So it's totally based on last year's stats. Because if you look at our team and on paper, like Faraci said, on paper, these guys are proven relievers, solid players on paper. If they have their customary year, their average year, it's a very good bullpen.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Top 5, definitely. But they didn't play that way, and they were at 7. I'm glad with 7. I'm not going to argue with it, but
top 10 in 3 lists.
Top 10 in all 3
really
lists. That's what.
Come on, guys. That's to me.
Very, very happy to see us on all 3 lists.
Good job, Ben Wagner.
What do you guys think about Cespedes catching that ball behind his back yesterday?
That's really cool. It's always play soccer in a World Series with the baseball across left field. I am super happy.
Was he actually on the field when that happened, or?
So actually, in the last 4 or 5 days, Cespedes. We've seen him out on the field. We've seen Cano on the field. We've seen Jed Lowry on the field. It's all coming together, guys.
I don't believe Jed's going to play.
Don't even play games with Jed Lowry, man. That guy is never going to take an at bat. Oh, I'm sorry.
Boom! Thank you, Joe.
He's never going to get his fifth at bat.
Speaking of which,
he got 4 last year. Right.
He's going to play this year.
I got a special prediction for Jed.
He's going to play this year. 10 to 20 games.
What did you want to say?
I can't wait to see our predictions to see what you guys put for Jed Lowry. I can't wait because I know what I put for Jed Lowry.
Well, yes. And okay, so let's jump into predictions right now. So the only nice way for me to pop it on the screen is what we did was as we typically do in Cine Sports Talk when we do our top 10 list. I took the average of all of our stat projections for each player, and with that, you'll see what the official put it in the books projections are going to be.
Hey, wait a minute!
Then we are going to talk about our individual picks.
I don't want to be lumped in with your projections.
I don't want to be lumped in.
You don't want your boys mixing with our boys? Okay.
I don't want your boys down there.
Not happening.
Seinfeld.
Lump
I
it.
told you about this before, Karachi. I told you about this.
Hey, and I hope we agreed a lot because we remember what we need to agree.
We better not have.
What do you mean? We've been agreeing. We said that we need to agree.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for agreeing. All right, so let's go now. Again, keep in mind this is a 60-game season, so everything's going to be all weird. And when you look in 5 years at the back of a baseball card, you can see this weird line, and you'll be like, "Man, he had a crappy season there." You know, you'll always have to remember that 2020 was the year of the Rona. So we'll start off at catcher, Wilson Ramos. I'm not going to go through a potential batting.
Buffalo.
So Wilson Ramos, we have combined hitting 268 with 6 home runs and 20 RBIs. I hate looking at these projections, by the way, just because of that is like 20 RBIs with what Ray Ordonez used to drive in.
It's a 60-game season.
Yes.
Think about it. You know,
got to keep on thinking through that. All right. So we have him.
Low, though.
It's still right. And so here's how we went with this. So on average, we were all kind of around the same. Joe had a little bit lower at 240. Rodriguez had him at 270, 285 for Keith, 275 for moi. Home runs, Joe and Keith went with 5. Me and Rodriguez went with 7. Which gives us the 6th average. And then RBIs, I went higher than everybody at 28. Keith at 21, Rodriguez 20, and Joe had 10.
You're giving him 28 RBIs in 60 games? First of all, how many games do you have him playing in?
I have him playing in 45.
45. You had Ramos playing in 3/4 of the games.
Yeah. But I wasn't low. Keith had him at 50. Rodriguez at 45 also.
Okay.
Yeah, in a short season, I feel like they just got to ride him.
We'll see. I mean, it could go a lot of different ways. Anybody with a comment on Buffalo?
I'll take those numbers.
Oh, for sure.
268, 620 in a third of a season. I'll take that.
Well, he's going to be a number 5 hitter, probably number 5 or number 6 hitter. He's going to be trying to get RBIs. So that's why I didn't give him too many home runs, because he's not a home run hitter. I think he's a contact hitter, and where they're going to play him, he should be able to get, with the type of guys in front of him, should be able to get 20-some RBIs.
Yep.
The way he hits.
Yep. All right. Moving right along to our reigning rookie of the year, home run champion, Pete Alonso, 268. 18 home runs.
That was the average?
Guys. Yes. All right. So let's go through this now. So for batting average, we were all, again, very close with a range of 265 to 270. Home runs, we went anywhere between 14 and 25. 19 for I went with 19. Keith and Joe with 14, and Rodriguez with 25.
Woo!
And then
I think he's going to have the backing to do it. They're going to have to throw to him.
They're going to have to pitch him.
I mean, if Joe bats behind him,
It'll be Conforto. It'll be
Or
Conforto.
Conforto. Yeah. I mean,
Conforto. Okay, yeah. Yo.
And going to RBIs,
well,
we have
if Alonso's fourth and Yo's fifth, Yo bats behind him. But anyway.
You're intimating that Yoannis is going to play this year.
Oh, he will.
See, this is where we'll get into that. We'll get into
that. It's going to be the Yo show, baby.
No, we have the while we agree mostly on games played and whatnot, there are some that will cause a little friction action. Bobby Plummer gonna be wearing his Tom Seaver jersey next Friday.
Bobby Plummer,
opening day.
All right, Plummer.
Bobby Plummer, that's a great baseball name right there.
That is.
In 9 days, by the way.
8 days for opening day, 9 days for New York Metropolitan baseball.
That's what we care
about.
Baby.
How about that?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, but I'll be watching those. I'll be watching the Thursday games too.
I will too. But what matters?
And by the way, for the four of us, we will have to cheer on those Yankees a little bit more often than we ever would have, because they're going to be playing lots of games against
playing the Braves and the Phillies and the Marlins.
You have to, Rodriguez. It's not even a
series in the future.
It's not a choice, Rodriguez. You got to.
I will never cheer for them to win.
No. But you'll be. You'll actually no. You're gonna cheer for them to beat the Braves.
Yeah, if they're playing the Braves, Nationals.
I was gonna make sense of it, but then I took a step back.
Yeah, this is what it is. I don't really care about the Yankees unless they're
gonna be rooting for the Mets a lot. When we're playing the Rays and the Blue Jays, Red Sox. All right, Pete Alonso, RBI is 44 for me, 43 for Keith, 40 for Rodriguez, 32 for Joe. And I did not go in fielding order here. Sorry, Rodriguez. Michael Conforto is up next. 269, 13 home runs, 30 RBIs is the official mandated, put it in the books projection for Michael Conforto.
Big year.
And what?
It's a big year. That's a big year.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. So Conforto, we ranged anywhere between 262 for Keith, 263 for me, 270 Rodriguez, 280 for Joe. Home runs, I went with 12. Keith, 10. Rodriguez, 22. And Mr. Joe, 8. And then RBIs, 32 for myself, 34. Keith, 35. Rodriguez, and 19 for Joe. Joe has always not been.
I'm a little more reserved in my predictions. Yes, I'm more reserved. Yeah,
I'm going Conforto because we've talked before. You want to see more out of him.
How many games do we all have him playing at?
Conforto, 55.
I haven't played 30.
You haven't played 40, 55, 60, 50, and 40.
Yeah, I got him going full season. Balls to the wall.
I didn't put anybody up for a full season. I put between 55 and 60 for some, and
I put Pete, Conforto, and Ahmed full season.
I would like it. Well, who's going to play shortstop?
Yeah, right.
Well,
Jed Lowry,
body cast Lowry or McNeil. We could pop somebody in there, but
30.
Ahmed, it's Ahmed's position.
So 30. Yeah. The 30 man roster, 60 taxi squad. They're not going to play the full. I mean, if they do, great, but I'd put like a 5% chance that any of them plays the full season.
I got to be honest with you. Those games played, if you look at just go across the list of mine for games played, mine are probably lower than the rest of you for all of them. Because I was factoring in 2 weeks of quarantine for any one of them that came down with symptoms of the virus.
Yeah.
That's what I was factoring in. Because you got to assume everybody's going to hit that point at one point or another in the season. So, I mean, Keith, man, I'd love to see them play 60. I'd love to see Pete and JD and Jeff play 60 games. But I'm being realistic, man. You almost have to assume everybody's going to have 2 weeks out at some point,
And just to counter that, my thought process is, I did not counter in any injuries players who are expected to play, and B, players like Alonso, Conforto, Ahmed, they own those positions, and we are balls to the wall. This is what I'm calling the down the stretch season. We are playing playoff baseball from game one, so I'm expecting those guys to play every game. But you're absolutely right. I mean, in this COVID-19 era, we might see that 2-week quarantine. You never know. Hopefully not.
Yeah, I mean, any one of these guys has someone in their household, or are they playing in a bubble? Are they playing in a bubble?
Sort of, kind of.
So any one of these guys are exposed to somebody else who comes down with it, they're out for 2 weeks,
They're playing in a minimized field, but they're not playing like an NBA bubble. You're absolutely right.
No, but I mean off the go, right? I'm talking about off the field. They're going home.
Yeah. Yep. And just a quick note on that. So for the announce team, because I watched a little show that they did, the announce team will be at Citi Field calling the games at home, and they are also going to be going to Citi Field and calling the road games there too. So they're not going to travel with the team. They're going to do. They were talking about how they've had to go out and talk to different announcers who have called games from a TV screen. Because Gary is like, I'm going to be calling the game as you're watching it. It's going to be on a TV screen right in front of me, and that's how I'm going to be calling it.
It's going to be like he's sitting next to you watching it on TV, calling it in your ear.
So here's the thing, and I'm sure he'll call it, and they'll sync up the delay. But as all four of us know, a lot of times, and I'm sure a lot of other Met fans out there who have other Met fan friends, we text each other during the game. So depending on where we are, what our internet's like, what our service is like, I may see 2 pitches that somebody else hasn't seen yet. They may see half an inning that I haven't seen yet. So we're going to see how that works, because if he's calling strike 2 on 2 batters ago, I'm hoping and I'm imagining, and I think that MLB and SNY and these networks will figure that out. I just hope that we're not their test dummies.
Yeah, I think that. So I think they're going to get the feed, the direct SNY feed. So they'll, if anything, yes, they will be ahead of us.
They'll sync it. Yeah, I'm sure
they'll sync it, but with the app and whatnot. But that was.
I'm not going to assume that anybody figured something out before it happens, because I've seen too much nonsense happen. I'm just going to hope they know better.
And Keith Rodriguez. What the hell did I just do?
I don't know. Joe Faraci.
Keith Hernandez. Jeez.
Steve Mulvihill.
Keith Hernandez did most of the show with Haji, the cat, just sitting in his arm like this. And then he had it's so Keith Hernandez to have a cat in your lap while you're doing the show and your cell phone ringing and not reaching over to silence it and just talking through the 7 or 8 rings that it's going through. All right, let's go to that is did we go through Conforto?
Yes,
we did. All right, let's head to second base. One Robbie Cano.
Is that when I pinch your nipples? Second base?
Oh yeah. We got Cano at 272, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs. Let's see where that is the official put in the books line right there. So Cano, we had anywhere between, I have him at 266, Keith at 281, Rodriguez at 310, and Joe at 230. Joe has him hit 230.
This might be a side bet between me and Rodriguez. 230 and 310. All right, let's see. 310. What do you think? It's Robbie Cano from 2012? 310. 310.
They said 310 that way again? It makes me happy.
310.
310. 310. That's my best stat of the night. I love it. 310. Fantasy land, my friend. All
right, home runs. I have them at 5. Keith and Rodriguez at 6, and Joe at 2. And then sorry. And then for RBIs, I have them at 22, 24 for Keith, 15 for Rodriguez, and 7 for producer Joe.
I look forward to reviewing these numbers at the at the end
for
of the
sure.
year.
Well, I'm just curious. And I guess we're going to get to that eventually, whether it's this week or next, where Rodriguez has him in a lineup that he's batting 310 only has, what was it, 15 RBIs.
We'll do official
Yeah, curious.
lineups. We'll do that next week also because we'll do that and we'll talk about our predictions for baseball as a whole.
And then we'll be heading into Mets baseball, baby.
Oh my God!
Actually, won't we already have an exhibition game against the Yankees to talk about by then?
Yeah, I think we have two. I think we'll have two.
Okay. Oh, the Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll have both of them. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if is it Tuesday, Wednesday. I think it might be Monday, Tuesday because the Yankees are playing opening day, which is Thursday.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's gonna be Monday.
They're playing 18th and the 19th, no?
18th and 19th.
Games.
It's over the weekend.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay.
Now I got to look it up.
Yeah, very well could be.
Oh, he's producing finally.
Wow.
Ow! Ow! Okay. Ouch!
I like it.
I like it too.
I like
The first game it has is for the Yankees on the 25th, 24th. The Braves on the 24th. It doesn't have
and
any
we will
schedule.
be rooting for the Yankees right off the bat. Let's go Yankees. I'm not going to be saying let's go Yankees, but I'm going to be wanting them to win the game. All right, let's head to.
Hey, remember this shirt? Yeah,
I got the side.
Oh, good one! I would have wore that. That's
Me
good.
too.
One.
Maybe next week.
Next week.
No, but I don't want to put the bad juju right before the season starts. Well, I do want the Yankees to sweep the Braves.
No, right. We open against them. We open against the Braves.
Oh yeah, they open against the Nationals? Yankees opening same deal.
Yeah, same difference. Yeah.
Where did Keith go?
You upset Keith. Oh man, you upset Keith talking about Robbie Cano getting all those home runs. That 310. He was like 310, 310.
Keith got so Joe was saying that you got so upset about 310.
I did. I was like,
310, 310.
What kind of crap is this?
Let's move to Jeff McNeil, the Squirrel. 312, 9 home runs, 24 RBIs. Extremely solid year as we project here on the Put in the Book show. Here's how this went down. For average, I have him at 303, Keith at 298, Rodriguez at 345, and Joe at 300. So we're in the neighborhood. Jeff McNeil home runs. I have him at 8, Keith at 9. I almost said 19. 9, Rodriguez at 14, and Joe with 6. And then for RBIs, 29 for myself, 29 for Keith, and then 18 and 18 for Rodriguez and Joe.
Because we're right.
That's a solid stat line right there. That over our overall average. Look at that line. I would take that from any player any day.
Me likey. I like it a lot. All right, let's head to Ahmed Rosario, our shortstop. 284, 7 home runs, 14 RBIs. I have him at 273. Keith had him at 304, 270 for Rodriguez, and 290 for Joe. And then home runs, 4 for I put 4, 7 for Keith, 14 for Rodriguez, and 2 for Joe. 13 RBIs for myself.
14 home runs. 14. Come on, 14. That's right up there with 310. You had Rosario? 14 home runs for Rosario Rodriguez. 14.
No, 4. I had him at 4 home runs.
Oh, is that my mistake?
I meant 4.
Okay.
All right, 4. I'm on board with. Okay.
All right, that
drops
down
that average down to like a 3 or 4.
Yeah, I was a little bit annoyed at myself because I gave him 2 little home runs, but I said, you know what? I don't think he's gonna hit that many home runs this year, especially batting low in the lineup.
It's going to be a really hard year because, I mean, we are doing from what we know of these players and baseball knowledge and dividing the season down. But these players may go up there swinging harder. They may go up there swinging more careful. We don't know how they're going to approach the 50-game season. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
But that's why I have them having a lot of more
production.
Lineup,
you know what?
And they're going to be for the fences.
That's a great point,
You might
Keith.
be right.
You know what, Keith? That's a great point. But by the same token, by the same logic, these pitchers who used to conserving themselves to go for the marathon season,
Yep.
they're gonna reach back for a little more every single start because
It's
they
gonna
know
be
they
fun
only
to
got
watch.
they
Bottom
got
line.
13 to 15 starts.
I'm not
tops.
hearing nothing.
So-
Nothing about pitch counts.
That's why
Well,
this is,
More
I am
Tommy Johns for the rest of the league.
I am hashtagging the season, hashtag the down the stretch season 2020.
Down the stretch they come.
Because that's what it is.
Solid.
We
All
are
right.
starting
Yeah.
down the stretch. It's going to be
Yeah.
as disappointing. I mean, we don't get to watch the 162. It's going to be so much fun to watch this balls to the wall
We're-
60-game season.
We're starting 3 weeks after the All-Star break, so
Yep.
yeah, down the stretch.
It's
Yep.
going to be fun, man.
All right. Here's one that's going to cause some friction.
Oh no.
Yoenis Cespedes.
No, I think that's a fair average right there.
Yeah, but when there's numbers within the numbers, we'll get to. So 266, 10 home runs, 21 RBIs. Still a nice little situation there. I have him at 270, Keith at 253, 280 for Rodriguez, 260 for Joe. And then home runs, I have him at 10, 8 for Keith, 21 for Rodriguez.
Wow. So you would pick him to have like a 55 home run season
And 2 from Joe. So
Dude,
Joe,
how many games do you think Cespedes is going to play, Rodrigez? How many games do you think he's going to play?
he had him at 45.
You know what? 45?
Just going to hit a home run every 2 games?
I put him
I'm
at
cool with it.
45 innings. I put him at 45 innings. Oh, man. I don't get me wrong. I'd love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. I would love for us to be having a show after we win the World Series.
So it's prediction. I
And
agree.
you
I
know
thought
what?
you were wrong too.
You know what? Let him be Cespedes again with his 21 home runs. 21.
Listen, I hope he can play. I hope he can stay healthy for 60, play at least 40. I hope he can get that average that we put right here, as all you Met fans see across the bottom of the screen here. And we sign him for a 1 year on a cheap contract to be our DH next year. That's my dream. Don't know about you guys.
Laugh at his dream. Go ahead. Laugh at his dream. Laugh at the
No.
dream.
You
Yeah.
know why? You know why? Because that's a dream we should all have. That's a dream we should all have. We should want every one of them to have that kind of year. And I would love to see it. And you know what? He's in a contract year. Am I correct?
Yep.
Cespedes is in a contract year, so maybe he does put up those numbers and he plays 45 games. I would love to be wrong. But how many games do I have him for Raj? How many?
10.
There you go. That's what I see.
How many you got him for Raj?
Cespedes, I had 42.
I had 40. So Rodriguez, myself,
I thought
and you are in about the same ballpark. 40, 42, and 45.
He has to play those games. He has to put up those numbers because if he does, he might as well just retire.
Oh, look, I'll say it right now. Write it down. Etch it in stone. If he plays 45 games, he'll put up those numbers, if not better. Absolutely. He absolutely will. But I'm sorry. I'm very cynical and I'm very anti-Cespedes, and I foresee him playing 10 games. That's all I see. I see 3 games in. He's got a bad ankle and he's out for 2 weeks. I see it.
You're stressing Keith out already.
I'm sorry.
It's not even that. It's they have enough guys to make sure that he can play pretty much every day, an inning or 2. That's all he has to do. An at bat or 2 at bats. He doesn't have to do much of anything, to be honest. And if he appears in 45 games, gets 2 at bats every game, DHs. I mean, who's better than that? I mean, all he has to do is come up 2 or 3 times and sit down. Barely even has to run. They don't expect him to steal bases. They don't expect him to hustle out doubles and triples. They just expect him to hit.
I'm curious to see where we all land on the next 5 players on the list.
Yep. I had Bobby has him and Polar Bear both with 25 home runs this year.
There you go, Bobby. Laugh
love it.
All right, Brandon Nimmo. We have him at 283, 7 home runs, 16 RBIs. And then, so that's the consensus. Nimmo, I had him at 271, Keith at 292, 280 for Rodriguez, and 290 for Joe. So all in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
6 home runs for me, 5 for Keith, 10 for Rodriguez, and 7 for Joe.
Okay, right around.
And then for RBIs, I have him at 12, 16 for Keith, 15 for Rodriguez, and 20 for Joe.
I hit the average on the nose.
So we actually we're actually all pretty good there.
I see Nimmo having a better year. I see him having I don't want to call it a breakout year. I see him advancing this year. I see him maturing this year.
If anything, I feel this could be the breakout year for his health. And then you know how there's these players that are prone to injuries their first handful of years, and then they're just that switch hits and they're just healthy from then on. Maybe it's the body saying, "Oh, we've had too many injuries already. No mas."
Well, he's at the right age, right? He's 27 now. He's at the right age to break out. So he needs to prove himself this year. Otherwise, new outfielder next year. See ya, Nimmo.
Because if he loses the job to anybody that we're going to talk about here, it'll be a real sad situation. JD Davis, 283, 9 home runs, 20 RBIs.
Nice.
For us here, JD, I had him at 278, 257 for Keith, 295 for Rodriguez, and 300 for Joe. Home runs, me 7, Keith 8, 14 for Rodriguez, and 8 for Joe. And then for RBIs, I had him at 17, 26 for Keith, 15 for Rodriguez, and 22 for Joe. So again, we're pretty close on those. And then
pretty close.
And then the next 3 figure to be the main guys off the bench potentially. Dom Smith, 258, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. I had him at 244, Keith 248, 280 for Rodriguez, 260 for Joe. 4 home runs for me, 2 for Keith, 8 for Rodriguez, 3 for Joe, and then
Steve Rodriguez has these home run fantasies. 8 home runs for Dom Smith.
Sure, why not?
I mean, you're projecting like what you would love to see, not what you think you're going to see.
That's what I'm projecting, what I want to see.
Okay, all right. Fair enough.
And then RBIs, it was 12, 12, 12, and 10. How about that for consistency?
Yeah. It's pretty good.
I'm going to save the best for last. And we're going to go Jake Marisnik here.
Jake?
Somebody has him at a high average, 243.
243, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. Okay, I have him at 237, 225 for Keith, 240 for Rodriguez, and 270 for Joe. I mean, at the level of at bats that he's probably going to get, that's probably like a difference of 4 or 5 hits, right?
4 or 5 bleeders.
Yeah, exactly.
I got him at 10 games. I mean.
Joe also, yeah. I have him at more. I have him in 33, just because of Nimmo potential team effort out there in center field. Rodriguez had him at 35, and you and Joe both have him at 10. Home runs, I have him at 3.
Both come in the late innings to be a defensive whiz. That's his job. So he should appear in a lot of games.
And he's got the speed, pinch runner and whatnot. 3 home runs for me, Keith with 1, 3 for Rodriguez, and 2 for Joe. So right around the same there. RBIs, I have him at 8, 7 for Keith, 10 for Rodriguez, and 6 for Joe. And now.
Oh no! Hold on, I got a blackout for this one.
Jed Lowry. So, 255, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. I think I said this to Keith, or maybe it was the whole group, but I said, I just have a feeling that Jed Lowry is going to be the Guillorme of this, and I think that he's going to have one of those moments that Guillermo May had last year, with the impossible, out of the blue home run to take the lead against the Nationals. But anyway, obviously the fellas down there don't think that he's going to play at all. So
I have him at 0 games. I have him at
so
0 games. So those numbers.
You had him at something else. But.
I had him at something else. I was hoping you were going to flash it on the screen, but I had him at something else. But those numbers are the aggregate of you three guys, because I got him in
just
0 games.
Keith has him at 0 games too.
Okay, just you guys. Just you guys.
Hey, it's a theme.
So this is what Rodriguez and Farace think. Here we go. Go ahead.
255, 3-9, and we are really. I mean, we're close. I'm not even going to read it. We're really close. 250, 270, 2 home runs. Rodriguez has him at 4 home runs. I have him at 8 RBIs, and Rodriguez has him at 10.
There you go.
All right. Now,
so did you just factor out Joe and my?
Yeah, because if I put him at 0 for all that, then he's
got. This was a
no.
Game
then
you'll
have him. Then you'll have him hitting 137.
Okay,
right. He'll be hitting 120.
You want to listen, or do you want to hear yourself? Because I'm trying to tell you, this is a game of the average of the Put It in the Book show. So if you want to average the Put It in the Book show, you've got to average 2 zeros into the 4 factors. So that 255, 3 homers, and 9 RBIs is false. All you fans watching, just letting you know, it's a fake number, fake news.
So would 127.
Your mommy's gonna be mad at you. Your fans gonna be mad at you.
No, it's true, because if you wanted to, what you said in the beginning, it's an average of the Put It in the Book show, but it's not. This is not. This is false. You lied. You lied to the fans. You should apologize or put up the right numbers.
Yeah, I want you to include my commentary on Lowry.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm very disappointed in you, Farace.
There we go. No, those 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. That's not.
I changed mine to 7 home runs.
There we go. That's what it should be.
7 home runs out of Jed Lowry. All right, wait. How many did you have for J.D. Davis? Just
I only
curious.
really argue because I hate Jed Lowry, and seeing the 127 is so much more satisfying than the other number you had.
Oh, I have so much Lowry hate. So much Lowry hate.
Farace thinks he's going to be like the savior of the Mets universe. For whatever
with the 3 home runs I projected, the savior of the Mets universe.
You said, the bottom of the 9th, big game. He's going to hit that home run.
Guillermo's was in the 7th inning. All right, let's get to pitching.
They're already miserable.
Our Cy Grom.
No, hold on a second.
We have Cy Grom at 8-3 at 2.18 ERA. Oof, love it.
That's right. We were all close on that, because that's close to the numbers. I think I put 9-2.
You did put 9-2. I had him at 7-2, just because you just can't score a run sometimes for him, no matter what our lineup looks like. 7-3 for Keith. 10-3 for Rodriguez.
Hold on, I think I have a vision into the future. If you give me a second, it's game 60. We're a half game out. We just need to win this game to get into the playoffs. Jed Lowry comes up, bases are low at the bottom of the 9th, 2 outs.
He pops out to second base. Friggin' Jed Lowry. Come on, man.
A natural.
There it is.
What did you guys talk about last week? Beating a dead horse, or what did you call it, Rodriguez? Seal. You beat a baby seal.
I mean, jeez.
Rodriguez.
I want to beat him like a baby seal.
No, last week I don't remember what I was doing. Oh, we were talking about the ownership situation, and Rodriguez said talking about beating a dead seal.
I heard that.
Yeah, I like the way Max thinks. 12-0, baby. I like that. I like that a lot.
Bring it, Max.
That'll do wonders for our projection here.
I mean,
all right.
he's only going to get 14 starts.
Let's do it.
You're assuming we score runs for him with that 12-0 because he's only going to get 14 starts.
Well, then there's that.
Yeah. ERA, we all had him in the twos, which came out to that 2.18. Moving right along to our free agent to be, Mr. Who's also catapulted in the number 2 spot in the rotation, Mark Stroman. We have him at 7-3, a 3.45 ERA. Wins, we had him all in the between 5 and 8. I have him at 7, 5 for Keith, 8 Rodriguez, 6 for Joe. Sorry, I should do that a little differently. I had him at 7-2. Keith had him at 5-4, 8-4 for Rodriguez, and 6-3 for Joe. And then ERAs, I had him 3.24, 3.06 for Keith, 3.40 for Rodriguez, and a 4.10 for producer Joe. Now to one of our off-season acquisitions.
Porcello.
The longest off-season in the history of life. Rick Porcello at 6-3, a 3.80 ERA. Breaking it down, I had him at 5-3, Keith at 5-3, 8-4 for Rodriguez, 6-2 for Joe, and then ERA is anywhere between 3.4 and 4.2 to get that average. And then
I'll take that as a number 3, absolutely.
Oh, yes, I do.
You should be better than that.
Stevie Matz, the first undefeated.
Matz, let's go, Matz.
The only lefty in the rotation. We have Matz at 6-4, a 3.76 ERA. I have him at 6-4, 6-3 for Keith, 7-4 for Rodriguez, and 5-3 for Joe. And then ERAs 3.50 up to 3.90. Funny, they were talking about Matt's on that show that I was telling you about, and how if you peeled back those 2 bad starts, it was like low 3s the rest of the season. And his full season last year wound up being over a 4 ERA.
He's fairly
and
consistent.
then this year,
blows it though.
What was that?
I said he's fairly consistent, but when he blows it, he blows it.
And then this year, if you blow a start, your ERA is done. You don't have any time to make that up. Michael Waka, 4-4, a 3.81 ERA, and if you get that at your 5th starter, you are golden, baby, golden. I am at 3-5. Keith at 3-4, 7-4 for Rodriguez, and 3-3 for Joe, and then ERA is anywhere between. There's a wide range here, so 3.90 for me, 4.52 for Keith, 3.50 for Rodriguez, and 3.30 for Joe. I mean, this is our 5th starter, guys. If this is, we're in a damn good situation.
If our 5th starter comes in under a 4 ERA, that's why we belong in the top 10 of the rotations for sure.
Absolutely.
Hey, real quick, what is Bobby talking about? Freddie Freeman's out? I thought he was.
I didn't know it. I don't know if is that confirmed.
I'll have to look that up. But I will post it up on our page.
Yeah, there were talks about it, but I did not know if it got if it was confirmed.
Hey, are we pushing on, or are we going to save the bullpen and lineups for next show?
I'm good. Lineups we're definitely moving to next week, but I do want to get through the projections if you guys are good.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Plow through.
It's real-time baseball now. All right, here we go. In the projected closer spot, this is where we are definitely. There's a disconnect here. Edwin Diaz. I said it very nicely there.
Well, I'd like to say my numbers are close to the average.
You know what, man? There's a disconnect with the organization, to be fair. So
my numbers are really close to that average. So there are some people that agree with me at some point.
Oh yeah, no. The disconnect is not. I don't. It's not so much with you. It's with others. But we'll get to it. And Rodriguez has to come back for this, but Diaz, we haven't. There we go.
Back in his
back from the Cadillac. Back from the Cadillac.
All right, so we have Diaz at 2-2, a 3.20 ERA, which would be amazing after last year, and 12 saves. Here's where we landed here. I have him at 1-3, Keith at 2-1, Rodriguez at 3-1, and Joe at 2-3. I have him at 3.80, ERA, 2.79 for Keith, 1.90 for Rodriguez, Joe at 4.30.
1.90.
We have 1.90.
I want a copy of this full spreadsheet to talk with Rodriguez when the season's over. 1.90. 1.90. God, I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. Go ahead. Keep going. How many saves? Go ahead.
All right. I have him at 5 saves. Keith has him at 13. Rodriguez at 23. Sorry, I'm just laughing. The reaction coming. And Joe has him at 6.
There's a disconnect.
Why is he even on the team, Joe? Why do you even want him on the team?
Okay, you know why?
Rodriguez, I got you, bro.
I'll tell you why.
Oh,
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. All right? I'll tell you why. Because they're gonna let him close to start the season, but he ain't gonna last. He doesn't have it anymore. He's gonna be gone. They're gonna be closer by committee by the time we're into week 3 because it's a sprint. What's it called, Keith?
You know
What's
what,
the
Joe?
season?
I gotta say, I think what you're saying is very unfair that he's not gonna last. As a matter of fact, I am prone to call you a horse because you're a naysayer.
No, okay, all right.
I knew that was coming, man. I was like, oh no, he's not
Bad joke time. Listen, it's not a show without a bad joke for me. Come on.
Man, I just, you know what? I got Jed Lowry and Edwin Diaz are right next to each other in Joe's friggin' doghouse. That's all. I mean, I would love to see him come back and have a strong year. I would. I just foresee him struggling, and in a short sprint season, we can't afford it. That's why you'll notice my numbers of saves and closers are kind of spread out by committee because that's the way I foresee it happening.
I think he's going to own the closer role, but I mean,
beautiful,
I
man. I hope he does.
I picked 13 saves, but anyway, we got a bunch of other relievers to go through. So,
and then
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was a good segment. Yeah.
All right, Seth Lugo, we have a 4-2, a 2.48 ERA with 11 saves. All right, for Loogie, I have him at 3-1, 4-1 for Keith, 3-2 for Rodriguez, and 6-2 for Joe. I have him at a 2.10 ERA, Keith a 3.20 ERA, 2.40 for Rodriguez, and a 2.20 for Joe. And here's where I believe he'll have a firm grasp on the closer job. I have him at 25 saves.
Oh,
one for Keith.
So I wasn't alone in the negative Diaz camp. Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I cannot. There's no outlook for me other than what I saw last year. And again, of course, we hope it's opposite. I hope Diaz has 25 saves.
Yeah, but here, you got to understand.
Then it's boom, 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 done.
Understand this: the starters are bare. If they go 7 innings, it's going to be a lot.
Yep.
So you're gonna use your bullpen a lot. So they pick all these guys in, and they're gonna hold Diaz as that card, as that ace. It is what it is, Joe. You could get upset or whatever. They're gonna hold him as the ace to close the game. So he's gonna get a lot of chances to close games out.
Yep.
Because of the way this season is. So
as long as he performs.
I said 23. He's gonna get a lot of chances. And if he's on in a sprint in a short season, 99 mile an hour, it plays.
So, and then my thought process was, I don't even think the Mets are going to have 20 saves as a whole team, because I think with the DH in play, our lineup's so strong, I think we're going to blow out a lot of our wins.
Everyone's going to have a DH. Everyone's going to be.
Doesn't matter. Not everybody's better, and screw them all. And we have a starting lineup that I think down. I think our pitching from starting all the way through the bullpen is going to be able to hold them in a position where our offense is going to dominate. I think we're going to be until the playoffs an offensive team, but that's my thought. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
If Diaz doesn't get
season, bro, 60 games. Who knows what's going to happen?
If he doesn't get 23 saves, I'll be very happy to know that he didn't even have to get them.
Right.
He
And
won.
listen,
All right.
like our pitchers,
Yeah.
you can get a pitcher with 12 starts. He can have 11 amazing starts, one terrible start, and his ERA is 4.5 because it's so short. He doesn't have the time to drop it.
You got to get rid of him then.
Get him out of here.
Exactly.
All right. So that's where we are on those two. And I mean, if you think about it, the next two can also have saves attached to them also, depending on how things go. Dylan Betances, we have him at 2-2, 2.71 ERA, 2 saves. So I have him at 2-1, 2-1 for Keith, 2-1 for Rodriguez, 2-3 for Joe. And then ERA is anywhere between 2.40 and 3.10. And then I have him for 1 save. Keith has 3, 5 for Rodriguez, and no saves for Joe. Which, this line, give it to me. Give it to me.
I'll take it all day.
Absolutely. I'll take that line all day and all night.
Rodriguez's favorite. La Familia. 2-2.
I'll take that line,
Spanish
too.
for
Hell yeah.
no mas.
Shit.
Two
Hit me
and-
in our 6-7
ahead.
that line.
When
Do
one
it.
I have him at 2-1. Keith 1-2, 1-1 for Rodriguez, and 2-4 for Joe. And then you can, yeah.
look at Timmy.
Oh, it's about.
All right. Timmy, you can't
yeah.
watch any Benton's appearances then.
Well, yeah, but he said a while back. He said, "I'm going to let Mets fans know now that every time he watches Betances pitch an inning, he gives up a run." He said, "So be careful how you speak to him because he'll watch every Betances appearance."
He's in a Yankee uniform. It doesn't count.
It's over. All right. And then La Familia. All right. So ERA, I have him at 3.0 on the dot. I have him as a nice bounce back. 3.78 for Keith. 3.10 for Rodriguez. He's clowning me in. You're only 0.1 away from me.
The price is right.
And Joe at a 4.80. Poop and milk.
He's in the minor. ERA.
And then for saves, I have him at 1. Keith 0, 3 for Rodriguez, and none for Joe. Justin Wilson. Is Justin he'll be our main left.
He's going to be our 7th inning guy.
Yeah, I mean, look. You 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 relievers that are capable. So if you got a Waka who goes 5 innings, boom, 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 boom. As long as Lou goes, don't pitch me 2 games in a row. All right, Justin Wilson.
They're all going to do that, dude. That's what's going to happen. 5 innings and that's it.
That's all this. I mean, we're top 10 bullpen, baby.
Yeah, look what happened to 100 pitch Turk Wendell. He went to the Phillies and got the life threatened out of him.
Yes. All right, we have Wilson at 1-1, 3.45 ERA, 1 save. I'm not going to go through this here because we're all around the same for all of it. Keith has him at 2 saves, 3 saves for Rodriguez. Me and Joe don't have him at a save. Here, I'm assuming Rodriguez. I don't think you think Brad Brock is going to pitch. I think
I don't think so.
Zeros.
Where is
he? He's part of the rotation right now. That's not part of the rotation. He's part of the rotational batch of players that have gone to Brooklyn to be more socially distanced until it's his day to pitch. I don't know that he's pitched yet in one of the inter squad games or not, to be honest with you. But we have him at 0-1, a 4.09 ERA. Not really going to go into the details there. And then Robert Gesellman, 2-1, a 3.81 ERA. And then Joe is very high on
I'm high on Gesellman. I am.
He has him at 3.10 ERA. I have him 4.2, so right down the middle. Keith at 4.33 and Rodriguez at 3.60 with a couple of saves sprinkled sprinkled around there. But that is it. That's our those are our projections for this year. Max is saying that will be the show 20. Cubs versus Mets National League Division Series Game 1. Mets are up 4-0. They're simulating it.
Woo!
Keep us posted on that. Please post pictures every time the Mets win a series. Toss
They
it.
already won. 86
Oh,
Mets.
yeah.
Best team ever.
And I'll give a little spoiler. Tomorrow is 8 days from the Mets playing their first game of the season. And I'm going to post up a picture of the best catcher to ever put on a Mets uniform.
World champ.
Those 8 days. But anyway, go.
World champ, baby.
23 days late, bro.
John Stearns.
He was number 12.
Ed Hearn.
The Hernsky. Keith.
And now Keith's Flakata of the Week.
That's easy. Flakata of the week is easily the Atlanta Braves. They are our opening day foe, and we're just going to
and Puig.
Well, he's a part of the
Puig. Yeah,
they just get a big ball of Flakata. They are our opening day foe, and then we have 4 days against the Red Sox. But we'll save that Flakata. We're just going to concentrate on what's in front of us, and that's you, Braves. We're coming for you. We're going to eat you alive. Flakata, bitches.
Boom.
Brian Hum sucks.
yes,
Every day.
Real quick, Brian.
every time
He sent me a picture of Zach Wheeler pitching yesterday, and
in his backyard. In his backyard.
no, he's there right now. Which all these reports are saying that
That's what it sounded like, the ball coming out of his glove.
he said wheeling and dealing. And I said, he'll make 2 starts. His wife is going to go out the baby, and he's going to be done. And you'll have paid $23 million this year, or the
baby will be the Achilles heel of the Phillies, Brian.
Well, I hope you're watching right now, Brian. You know why? Because Brian Hum
sucks.
boom.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk offline. Actually, I got an idea. We'll get up. Yeah.
That's got to be a good
teaser.
Tease it, baby. All right. We are officially 9 days away from baseball. It's a lot of fun going through this because we've been wanting to go through this and we didn't know how many games we're going to be playing and all that stuff. So it's super exciting for us to finally be able to talk specifics about baseball and what is going to be happening. And these amazing projections, including Jed's bottom of the ninth, game-winning home run in Game 7 of the World Series. Jed's dead, gets hoisted above.
That is 143.
And he's in the first car heading down.
Heading out Broadway? No.
All right. Rodriguez, any closing remarks here?
Wear your mask. Keep everybody safe. Let's go Mets. Season starts. Here we go.
Boom, boom. Producer Joe.
Stay home. If you can't stay home, wear your mask. And 9 days, baby. Baseball's back. Here we go. Let's have some fun. Let's get a release and relief from all this freaking quarantine. Let's go Mets.
Keith.
COVID-19 is a hoax. It's all a lie. All those dead people are not really dead. They're just walking dead. No, seriously, wear your mask. Come on. And stop listening to social media. Stop listening to all the stupid videos out there that's promoting you to hate other people of other races, hate other people who are not wearing masks.
And
just do what is right for you and your family. Stop the hate. Stop the spread. Be responsible. And wake the F up, America. Okay? Thank you. Amen. And actually, we are number 1 in Corona. Not a good thing.
Yeah, and actually, we're down here in Florida, and we when we broke the record on Sunday, we had more than any other country.
Yeah, as a state.
Go Florida.
North Florida.
All right.
Hey, this is a good time to open Disney.
Oh, and by the way, if you decide to join a COVID-19 party just so we can all get it and get it over with, good luck. I hope you don't die.
Good luck. Just don't let it be a Mets party, please. All right. We're 9 days away. A lot of fun coming up. A lot of news. A lot of stuff is going to be coming up over the next week to 10 days. And then 4:10 next Friday, opening day, baby. Opening first pitch served by hopefully Jacob deGrom. Woo! I'm ready, baby. Next week we're going to talk what our lineup would be, and we're going to talk about the divisions around baseball. We'll talk about awards at the end of the season, all that good stuff, as we have done every year on Cinesportstalk.com since 2011. Until then, we will bid you a fond farewell. Let's go Mets. Stay inside, stay safe, and be nice to each other, please.
When you go to sleep and wake up, it'll be 8 days.